Hello, I'm Bob from Bob's Workshop, and I'm here today at the Cincinnati Fire Museum. A friend from work gave me a very nice Christmas present last year. This little Volkswagen. Thanks again, Miles. And Miles is also the reason that I know anything about the Cincinnati Fire Museum and their gift shop. Whether I go to a train show by myself, or Susan and I visit a museum, I usually make a video about the event and then follow up with an episode showing what I bought. Today I'm reversing that order, and I'll give you a look at 4 diecast models that I found last weekend. I don't normally collect American cars and trucks from the 1930s, but this was only $5. I couldn't read the bottom while at the gift shop, but I later found out that it's a Brooklin model in 1/43rd scale of a 1935 Dodge fire truck. For such a small toy, it's actually pretty heavy, as even the base is die-cast. Looking back, I vaguely remember something about collectibles from Brooklin, but I've never owned one before. And it turns out that they're actually kind of expensive when sold with the original packaging. I found some online, which I'll show you at the end of this video. You gotta love a country where you could be a cop driving around in a Jaguar coupe. There were some very cool aspects to the 1970s, and Corgi was riding high in the world of die-cast cars at that time. This is a Jaguar XJ12C. That designation would mean that this XJ was a 12-cylinder, 2-door coupe. So even if you don't get to carry a gun as a British constable, at least you would be responding to riots or armed robberies in a pretty sweet ride. Corgi doesn't mention a size on the bottom, but it is much larger than 1/43rd scale. Like most of the cars that I found at the Fire Museum, this one is missing its original box. But it's still in really good shape for being more than 4 decades old. The antenna is just a tiny bit bent from being stored in a Ziploc bag. I'm tempted to apply a little heat to see if I can straighten it back out. But for now, I think I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm normally very excited whenever I stumble across a Super Kings or Speed Kings model by Matchbox, but this one is from the late 1980s or early 90s, and it features a style of wheel that I really don't like. I prefer the superfast style wheels with chromed centers, like the models from my childhood that were made during the 1970s. This was the first model that I pulled from the box of $5 die-cast cars and trucks. Super Kings, Speed Kings, or king-size Matchbox are unusual to find at all, let alone for $5. In hindsight, though, I probably could have done without this one. Before this, I was trying to thin out my collection. I'm trying to get rid of stuff right now, so I feel a little guilty about buying this even though it was so cheap. I think in the future, I'll need to be more selective. Going forward, in the spirit of being more selective, I'm feeling pretty good about this BMW 501 in the colors of Feuerwehr München, or, as we Americans say, the Munich Fire Department. It's made by Minichamps, and for me at least, they are the gold standard by which all other diecast are judged. I really like this one. The clear display box has a few marks, and it's missing the outer cardboard box, and its price was $20, which to me seemed high after finding all the other cars for $5 a piece. But I'm a sucker for German fire department or police vehicles. If I'm at a flea market, or a train show, or looking online, sometimes I'll buy something knowing that I want to keep it for a long time. Basically, collectibles or nostalgic items that I plan on keeping until I die. But there are other times when I'll pick up stuff that's cheap and keep it for just the short term. I'll buy these kinds of items if I know I could sell it later and at least get my money back from the original purchase. I couldn't find the exact Brooklin fire truck, but these are pretty close. So $5 for mine, even without the original box, seems like an okay deal. I don't really feel any connection to this little Dodge, so I think that would be more of a short-term holding for me. The Corgi police car that I found on eBay, I think it's overpriced. $10 seems like a much more realistic starting price. And then looking on eBay for the Matchbox Range Rover only confirmed my suspicion that I didn't really need it. It seems like nobody else really needs it either. And then there's the Bimmer. Even though the model inside is mint, the condition of the display case plus the missing outer cardboard packaging makes me think that what I paid is pretty spot on. And out of these 4 models from the Cincinnati Fire Museum, it's really the only one that I see keeping long term. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this has been Bob's Workshop. Take care.